Hey everybody, this is Anthony Lucio checking in for my 2015 NSF-EAPSI Debrief video. So I was very fortunate to travel all the way from the cornfields of Iowa to beautiful Melbourne, Australia. Not that Iowa's not beautiful, but come on, if I had to choose, you know I'd be down in Melbourne. And it's been quite a journey. I've met a lot of great people, seen so many great things here in Australia, and it's really just been an overall an unforgettable experience. At the moment, I still am in Australia. I have about another 2.5 weeks before I leave the country. I was very fortunate. In addition to the NSF fellowship, I received another fellowship from my home university to extend my stay by about a month. And really, the additional fellowship making sure that I have a good impact here with the work that I'm doing. So what am I doing and where is it at? I'm working at the Clayton campus at Monash University with Professor Alan Bond, and I'm working with him because he pioneered a technique for the past few decades that has really made an impact in the field of electrochemistry. The technique being called large amplitude Fourier transformed alternating current voltammetry, certainly a mouthful. However, the technique of FTACV can really tell you a breadth of information about your electrochemical system. And the system that I'm interested in is known as the electrical double layer. So to give you just a very brief analogy of the electrical double layer, I've got a cup of water here, and you can see, the water touching the glass here. The interface between the water molecules and the glass molecules is the type of interface that I study as an electrochemist. And the reason we're interested in that type of an interface is because for surface processes, that's where all the important things happen. That's where the most of the governing processes occur. So getting a fundamental understanding of that interface can help you address real-world problems. So the types of real-world problems that we apply my fundamental research to, one of them certainly being this whole problem we have with carbon dioxide. And the idea being, fossil fuels producing carbon dioxide going up into our atmosphere, talking about climate change types of things here. As an electrochemist, we want to be able to address that type of an issue by using electrochemistry to essentially turn carbon dioxide, CO2, into something certainly more useful. So at the moment, electrochemically, we can convert CO2 into value-added products such as formic acid, methanol, or even propane. And the idea being, though, is the chemistry that happens within this, again, electrical double layer is kind of unknown. As far as the mechanism for producing these types of products from CO2, that's the real world problem that I'm trying to address here with my work. So again, my work is certainly fundamental in nature, but again, that fundamental understanding can then be applied once we have a grasp of the morphology and the structure and what's actually going on in that interface. We can then apply it to more real world problems. And that really gives me some cheers in my work, and it's been quite an interesting journey in my PhD, and having the time here at Monash is certainly going to make an impact in my overall PhD career. So overall, being in Australia has been great as a professional because I've been able to expand my network and meet with people from industry, from government labs, and even taking a professional visit to a university here, the University of Newcastle, where I was able to meet Rob Atkin, someone I've actually been following for the past 2 years via his publications because the work is related to what I do, and just to be able to put a face to the name, meet this person, and see his students in the lab, and all of that has just been an amazing experience, and really broadening my my network here. And even beyond that, in the lab, learning the practices that is being done here at Monash University, and being able to take that back to Iowa is just going to be an invaluable thing for me in my career. How I saw Australia, I actually took a lot of camping trips while I've been down here. That was kind of the way I wanted to see Australia. Before I came down here on the fellowship, I was kind of mulling that over of, what do I want to do to have an experience in Australia? And mine was going out in the bush and doing some hiking and camping. So beyond the hiking and camping, though, I was able to take a few other trips. I was able to drive the Great Ocean Road with some of the fellows down here, and it's just amazing to see koalas just chilling in trees. You don't see that. It's just so cool. I was able to go to the vineyards in the Barossa Valley over in Adelaide, and even while I was in Adelaide, going to Kangaroo Island, took a day trip there, and just, kangaroos, everywhere. Really, a day at Kangaroo Island is not enough. Seeing Phillips Island, the penguins in there. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see them, but I did do a great hike over that way. And, seeing the Newcastle coast has just been amazing to see the topography and the landscape and the countryside that Australia has to offer. So what would I say to future fellows that are going to be on this fellowship is probably take advantage of your geographical location being in Australia. I mean, a flight out here or a flight to New Zealand or a flight, in other Southeast Asia countries is going to cost you, upwards of $2,000. But being in Australia on fellowship, you can take a trip to Tasmania, you can take a trip to New Zealand, couple $100, not that big a deal. So what I would really suggest is while you're here in Australia for the 2 months, please do yourself a favor and take advantage of the geographical location you have and visit some of the other beautiful countries that are near Australia. Beyond that, I have to say, just as a heads up, in case you didn't know, all the burgers that I had down here in Australia, they actually come with a beetroot and a fried egg. So when you bite into an Aussie burger and you aren't expecting that, just know that's typical whether you buy some, like a beef burger or a chicken burger. And I have to say, as an American, I really enjoy that flavor in my burger. To address the driving and the animal stigma here, everybody says things in Australia are out here to get you. Mind you, we are here as fellows during the winter. So while I was out in the bush camping and hiking and everything, I didn't really have to worry about, dangerous snakes or, big spiders or drop bears. Oh my God, they're going to get you. No, did not have that type of experience. I don't think any of the other fellows did. And even driving in Australia, they are on the opposite side of the road and it's on the opposite side of the car. It's not actually that big a deal. I did my fair share of driving down here and it wasn't actually all that bad. So don't let the driving in Australia scare you away. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps up my NSF-EAPSI video, and I wish all the other fellows, future fellows, good luck, and it was great meeting the current fellows. I hope everybody is having a great summer.